Hello, sweet Stampin' friends. Welcome to today's video. I'm going to share with you a super fun pop-up card using the Storybook Moments suite. We're going to play with some of that paper. What's it called? It is called the Storybook Moments Designer Series paper. It is currently on back order to about mid-March. Fingers crossed it comes back in sooner. But as you hop on, say hello and let me know who is joining me today. And if you stop by and watch the replay, would love for you to just give me a quick hello. If you haven't joined me before, I am Debra Harrison with Simply Sweet and Ink Designs. And each Friday, I love just sharing with you a fun, quick class on using the Stampin' Up! Products. And so hello, Karen, welcome. Yes, cold, Idaho. Okay, so it is cold here in San Antonio. We're not used to having cold like this, and several days of it too. We'll occasionally have a quick maybe day or two, but surprisingly we have not had snow. I know some outlying areas, some of the hill country, they're probably getting some icy roads, but we're doing fine. Okay, so let's have a shout out. What is your current temperature where you're at? Let's see who is the coldest in their area. Hello, Dawn. Hi, Liz. Hey, Karen. Other Karen. Have two Karens on right now. Welcome. All right, so I have a lot to share with you, so I'm going to go ahead and get into it so that we can move on to our project. All right, so my format is a little bit different today. I am hoping maybe I'll get a little bit better video quality with this setup. We'll see. I'll have to find out. When I look at it from my picture, it looks great. But when I go to YouTube, it's a little grainy. So I've been trying to work out the kinks on that, see if I can improve the quality of the video. All right, so let me get this. I'm adjusting my lighting a little bit. Just a quick reminder, we have only 1 week left during celebration. And earlier this month, Stampin' Up! Added new items in the level 1 category that you can earn for every $60 increment. I wanted to highlight one of them because it comes in and out of stock quite frequently, and that is this beautiful butterflies stamp set. Okay, it's actually, there's a bundle, really cool hybrid embossing folder and dies that you can use that coordinates with it, but you can get the stamp set free with a $60 order in US dollars. So I wanted to highlight that. If you see, I have it noted because one, I am looking to design my next craft along using that stamp set. Actually, the bundle, but at least if you get the stamp set free, then you only have to buy the hybrid embossing folder, okay? So I wanted to highlight that for you so you could be on the lookout, place your order. You can always shop with me. Go to my blog, Simply Sweet Ink Designs, and you can get information on my current host code and my shopping link. All right, also 2 quick reminder, the starter kit promotion for celebration ends on next Friday, February 28th, 2025. 2 options. First option, they're both $99 plus tax. You can select option 1, which is $125 in product, your choice, plus your choice of 2 sets of Stampin' Right markers, and you'll automatically get the Handmade Wishes stamp set. Or if you want, you can choose option 2, which you get $155 in products of your choice for $99 plus tax. I really encourage you. When I first joined, actually all 3 times I've joined, I joined to get the discount. And I don't think people believe me when I tell them that they can join, buy the starter kit, get a good deal on the starter kit, and then just shop and enjoy saving on the products they love. So if you are curious at all about the starter kit, I am happy to have a chat with you. Even if you, I know you're like, okay, I have these questions, but I don't want to ask her because she's going to pressure me to buy the starter kit. I am not going to pressure you to buy the starter kit. I am really low key about it. I want you to get the best deal. I want to answer your questions. And if you still don't want to buy the starter kit, that's totally fine, but I want you to have the information. So please don't be afraid to ask me any questions that you have, all right? And there is only 1 week left. I really encourage you, do not wait till next Friday, because if anything goes wrong tech-wise, it's really difficult to kind of get that resolved the last day of the promotion. Okay, well, that is out of the way. So I wanted to remind you that I'm doing a creative escape while I've co-designed with Julie Salva. We have designed 10 fun projects for you using the Storybook Friends bundle. I do have a few spots left, so if you're interested, you can message me, go over to my blog, Simply Sweet Ink Designs. There's a connect with me tab, and then you can send me an email, okay, and get that registration link. Now, if you're already on my email list, I did send a reminder on Tuesday. So if you want to go grab the link, that's probably the fastest way to get it. But if you don't have the registration link, you can certainly message me. The cost for the whole kit is $99. It has like $47 in consumable Stampin' Up! Products, pre-cut cardstock to make the 10 projects. You're going to get an email tutorial. There's always a link on your cover sheet where you can access the tutorial that way as well. So if you're going to a retreat or something, you can take it with you anywhere you have Wi-Fi. And I will tell you, I've been working on the pillow gifts and they are so cute. I cannot wait for you to see them. They're adorable. Sign up does close on Tuesday, the 25th, or when my last remaining spots fill up. Okay, so if you log on and it shows that it's filled up, you can message me. Chances are maybe somebody has like their registration kind of hanging out there and it didn't complete. Sometimes people accidentally double register. That happens too. So you can always message me just to confirm. Okay. So anyway, I'm not going to go into all the projects because I did that last week. There is an optional class that you can add on that features the Storybook Garden Patch bundle that you can add on it's $27 for the kit. It has about $15 in consumable supplies. And but you can get it added onto your kit and there's no additional postage. So I always recommend add it to your kit when you're registering. All right, let's see. Okay, also too, on March 5th, the registration closes for the March Sweet Creations Club to make 6 really beautiful cards using the Wildflower Birthday Designer Series paper. And there's that box I didn't have last week. I had it over somewhere else. So those are the 6 projects. You get to see them all now. I sent out the email last night of suggested supplies to my club members. You can substitute with whatever sentiments that you want to make these 6 projects. I normally would not, I don't want to tell you not to get the bundle because there are 12 additional ideas that you're going to get into your tutorial for the club. And so you would probably really want to have the bundle for the extra projects. So, but for the 6 that are part of your club kit, you can substitute with whatever sentiments you have. All right, hope that clarifies things. All right, so really fun project kit. And if you're not part of my club, it is $43 a month, and it includes anywhere about $24, $25-ish in consumable products, and it includes shipping. And every 6 months that you are a club member, you get a little club gift from me. That's just a little fun. All right, so I think real quick, want to remind you for those who are on, let me flip back real quick before we get into the project. Couple things. One is next Tuesday, February 25th at 2 o'clock Central Time will be the Darling Dinos Craft Along. So come back, join me for that. Those who got the kit, I'm going to be sending you out a reminder email. I sent out an email, I guess maybe a week ago or so, with the tutorial and the prepping guidelines so that you can go ahead and prep your supplies before Tuesday. I'll just send you a reminder probably over the weekend so you can have those things in place. Now, if you want to just craft along with me, I do have the PDF tutorial available in my PDF store. Again, my blog, everything's pretty much on my blog. You can go there. There's a link for my PDF store. It's $10 to purchase that PDF, and then you can craft along with us on Tuesday. You can just watch. It's free for anybody to watch. Okay. And then another thing I wanted to mention is Facebook made a change a couple of days ago where they are going to be deleting videos that are more than 30 days old. So if you're on Facebook, I see several of you are on Facebook watching me. Totally fine. It's probably not going to impact you at all because you're joining me live. But let's say you want to go back and watch a video. Okay. After 30 days, it will no longer be on my Facebook page or anybody's Facebook page that you follow. So I'm going to recommend that you follow me on YouTube. Couple things. One, on YouTube, it's a lot easier. One, you're not going to have that restriction. It will live out there forever. Plus two, if you want to go back and watch a video, it's much easier to find than it is on Facebook. I don't know about you. Something pops up on Facebook. I go back to try to find it and I cannot locate it. So I just wanted to make you aware that that is a change with Facebook. They are going to be deleting videos after 30 days on Facebook pages. So go over, click on the link, go find me on YouTube at Simply Sweet Ink Designs. Oh yeah. In fact, Liz, right now, I'm currently going live in Facebook and on YouTube right now. Okay. So you may not know that, but I am. I see people who are on YouTube and I see currently people who are on Facebook. So yes, I'm live in both places right now and I will continue to go live. It's just the Facebook page will drop my video after 30 days, whereas on YouTube, it will remain. Okay. So I just wanted to make you aware of that change that's coming. Okay. Hello. I see more of you joining me. Okay. So last week I shared with you 2 super easy projects using the Storybook Moments Designer Series paper. I focus more on the panels. There's one sheet of the paper that has panels. And so I focused on using those. So if you didn't get a chance, go back to my YouTube channel and you can find how to make these projects. Also, too, at the end of the email that's going to go out tomorrow at 3 o'clock Central Time, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see the video link and the project sheet link so you can grab that project sheet from last week if you missed it. All right, today I am so excited because we're going to make a super fun pop-up card using the Storybook Moments Designer Series paper. Super, super cute. Now, when I originally first designed this, I just designed it as a card, but my friend Deanna Price, she lives here in San Antonio. She is a sideline team member on my uplines team, and she gave us some really cute little nutty buddies for Valentine's that were Valentine's themed. And I was like looking at my little square here and I thought, you know, I bet those would fit. So sure enough, when I stacked them, sure enough, they fit nicely in there without being tight at all. So I'm not sure if the regular chocolate Nutty Buddies fit, but you could give it a try. I think that would be fun. And it helps stabilize it too, even though it's pretty stable on its own. All right, let's get into the project today. Let me get a couple things in place. First is my quick reference. And then secondly, like I said, if you're on my email list, you're going to get the project sheet for today's project with the list of the supplies, pictures to help walk you along through the steps, and also to the step-by-step instructions. So this goes out at 3 o'clock Central Time tomorrow. Now, if you're not on my email list, really easy to join. Again, you know, my blog, there is a place under the Connect with Me menu option where you can sign up, and it's super easy to sign up. Okay, so let's grab, I have several supplies here, and I'm going to show you something too. I'm going to show you something with the watercolor pencils and the blender pens, because if you're doing the Storybook Friends Creative Escape, you're going to want to make sure you know how to use these. Let's see. So the products that I have the bundles here. This is the Storybook Friends bundle, but I'm not using the dies. I'm only using the stamp set. So I am going to be using the Sentiment Thank You So Very Much from the Storybook Friends stamp set. I am going to be using this super cute little dirt mound die. This is probably one of my favorite parts of this whole die set, to make some cute little dirt mounds. And I'm going to show you what you can do with that. But it does come as a bundle, and it's called Storybook Garden Patch. Okay. All right. So that's what I'm using. And let's see. Let me grab my supplies. We are going to start off with, it's almost a half a sheet, but not quite, of cardstock. So this is a piece of 5.5 by 8 inch piece of old olive cardstock, just a little bit shorter here on this end because I wanted my circle to kind of pop over the edge a little bit, so I made my back a little bit shorter. Now there are some score lines, so I'm going to burnish them, and then I'll tell you what they are as I burnish them. So we have the first score line at 1/2 inch. Then the next one is at 1 3/4 inch. Next one is at 3 inch. And then the last one is at 4 1/4. So I'll repeat that real quick. So we have 1/2 inch, 1 3/4, 3, and 4 1/4. Now, what this is going to do is this is going to form that square 2 that we have right here. Okay. But before we adhere that tube, there's a couple things we're going to do. We're going to next take a piece of the Storybook Garden Designer Series paper, not Storybook Garden, what is it called? Storybook Moments Designer Series paper. Since I'm making a garden patch, I want my paper to be garden themed. So this piece measures 2 3/4 by 5 1/4, and we're just going to glue it down at the top of our large section here. See, on the back, it's got the little houses. So if you're looking for the paper, it's got houses on one side and garden on the other side. Put this up at the top. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to take, and you can add tear and tape, or you can add multi-purpose liquid glue. And on this 1/2 inch section, we're going to add our adhesive. And then what I like to do is I'm going to fold it over this way. Then I'm going to fold my Designer Series paper panel this way. And then I get a nice squared box, okay? All right, so next what we're going to do is we're going to take, I'm going to save that for later. I want to take 2 pieces of pecan pie cardstock. And remember my favorite die in the set, this set right here, this little dirt mound? You're going to take 2 pieces of 1 1/2 by 2 5/8 pecan pie cardstock, and you're going to die cut 2 pieces with the dirt mound. Now, what it's going to do, let me see. Oh, where is my little thing? There it is. Okay. I forgot my little pokey tool. So there is right here some slits right there, okay, on each of them. All right, so what's fun is you can take some vegetables and you can stick them inside those little slits. So what I did is I pulled out from the Designer Series paper, there are some laser cuts. And so I am just going ahead and use the laser cuts that I have. I'm just going to dump everything out because I can't find my carrot. There it is. All right. Let me move some of this. I don't need it just yet. Don't need that. Don't need that. I am going to need you in a moment. Okay, I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. Okay, so what we're going to do before we glue our dirt mound on, we're going to take and we're just going to add in these little carrots. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of glue behind it to hold. Okay, I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to do the other carrot. And do the same thing. We're going to slide it right there into that hole. I'll have it hold right there. Okay, now for this one, I'm going to change it up a little bit because those carrots really don't fit in that hole. So I'm just going to have it kind of just sticking up outside on the back there. Okay, so a question that you may have is, that's all great, Deborah. Those are cute little laser cuts. What are we going to do? What am I going to do when I run out of these laser cuts? All right, so I want to show you what you can do using the watercolor pencils. So let me share with you that, because I actually did this for one of the pillow gifts. I did need to stamp my own carrots for it to be able to complete the cute little pillow gift. Okay, so you can use watercolor crayons to stamp from, let me grab this again. There is a carrot right here. There's lots of different vegetables that you can stamp and color, but I'm going to use the carrot, and there is a carrot die that you can cut it out with. So what you're going to do is you're going to first start off with a piece of basic white cardstock. I'm going to use some Memento Black ink. I did grab my carrot. Cool. I already grabbed it. Cool. I already have it on a block. So I'm going to show you the finished right there. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to stamp in Memento Black. And I'm just going to let that kind of dry for a moment before I start coloring. So I'm going to show you with the watercolor pencils. Now, for the Creative Escape kit, we recommended that you use Assortment 1. It has the most variety of colors. However, I will tell you, I like the orange from assortment 1, and I like the granny apple green from assortment 2. So that's what I'm going to use today. So if you can and you have both sets, that would be awesome. But if you don't, at least you want to have assortment 1. That's going to give you the most variety. Okay, so I'm going to show you the cool thing. Has anybody used blender pens before? If you have not, I will tell you, this is how I started when I started stamping 17 years ago, maybe 18. I used the blender pens because I just wasn't in a point where I could buy all the ink pads at that time. And we really didn't have the alcohol markers, the Stampin' Blends. So I used watercolor pencils and I used blender pens to be able to start coloring when I stamped. So to use the blender pens, what you do is you take, and I'm just showing you here so that you can see a bigger example than. And if you want, you can go a little lighter if you want it to be a little lighter. All right, so when you are coloring with watercolor pencils, what does it look like? It looks like we're coloring with crayons, right? It leaves the streaks. Well, what blender pens do, which is super cool, is it smooths all that out. So I'm going to take the blender pen, and there's actually, they come in a set of 3, and they are double-ended. So, and it's just basically, I don't know what's inside, but it is moist on each end. So rather than using an aqua painter where you can have too much or too little water, this gives you a nice consistent amount of moisture. So what you do is you just take, and hopefully you can see, look how it's just smoothing out those lines and just creating a much smoother appearance, more of a watercolor effect. So I hope that you can see that, right? It kind of smooths it out a little bit. Now to clean it, okay? So easy. So you take it and you just go back and forth until it comes out clean. That's it. That's all you got to do. So all I would do here is I would color in my image. Of course, the darker you color it, the darker it will be when you go to use your blender pen. And I'm just going to do a real quick one here. I'm not going to get too fancy. I'll show you how to use it with the blender pen. Smooth that out. Okay, clean it. Or I could use the other tip if I wanted. I will tell you, my first set of blender pens, I want to say they lasted about 8 to 10 years, honestly. They lasted forever. Of course, part of it was usage. Obviously, the more you use something, the quicker it's going to go. So there you go. If you need to create your own carrots to put in your little slits, that's how you can do it using the Garden Patch bundle. But I'm using the laser cuts. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to adhere these to the front. Now, you're probably not going to see this in the video, maybe not, but right here, about maybe 1/8 of an inch down, there is a line that occurred when it went through the die cutting machine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up that line with the line right here on the top of my square, just as a reference point. Oh, I probably went too high there. Okay, so I'm going to have this, and I'm going to leave just a little bit of a gap on the right. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the left. And that needs to come up a little bit. There we go. Do the same thing for the other panel. And if I did all my measurements correctly, they should line up here in the middle. Because 2 5/8 times 2 is 5 1/4. All right, so we're going to have them come together here in the middle. Don't worry, we're going to take care of covering that seam. Now, next what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some Timeless Plaid Designer Series paper. And this measures 1 by 5 1/4. And guess what? It's going to cover up a lot of that stuff to give us a nice clean edge. So that is actually we're going to do 2. I'm going to show you where the other one's going to come into play, but we're using 1 by 5 1/4 for the front. So let's go ahead. We're going to put this on the front. Okay, so now is the fun part where we get to decorate, add all this fun little stuff. But do you see how we're getting our little diorama scene going on? Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look for, there's my circle right there. All right, so I'm taking, I die cut out with a Stylish Shapes dies, a 2.5-inch circle in basic beige cardstock. And I want my little squirrel guy. Is this a squirrel this week? I know last week it was like, I think it was a chipmunk. I think this one's a squirrel. So hopefully I am correct. If not, well, we'll just, you know what I'm talking about. So I want to have my squirrel on the right. So my sentiment needs to be on the left. And I'm using the sentiment that's from Storybook Friends stamp set that says, thank you so very much. And I'm going to stamp in early espresso ink. Okay, so let's put that, I'm going to put it pretty far to the left so that we have plenty of room. Let me close my ink. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I want to take just scrap piece of cardstock, whatever you have. This is actually the designer, the backing from the pack of designer series paper. It measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And that is just a quarter sheet of cardstock. Now, the reason I want to do this is I need to make sure that when I put on my circle that it doesn't go over that 4 1/4 inches. That way I can make sure that it fits in an envelope. So I'm going to add some dimensionals. And it's pretty much going to go on the lower half. Okay, so I need to, no, not yet. Okay, so I'm going to line this up. I just need to figure out where that is. And I think that's going to be pretty good. I'm going to straighten it out just a hair there. And it should be good to go. That's pretty close. All right. So the next one I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere my squirrel right here on the right. I'm just going to put him flat. He doesn't need any dimensionals because I already have a lot going on in the front. So I'll put that right there. And then what I did is I manually cut out from the Storybook Moments Designer Series paper. I cut out 2 heads of lettuce or cabbage, whatever you want to call them. So the bottom one is going to be glued flat. So we're going to glue it right there, flat, just right there on the circle. And then I want to pop up the other one. So I'm going to have it pop up right here next to his foot. And there we go. So we have just a couple of more things that we're going to do. We're going to embellish the front. And what I love, is the 2023-2025 in color sparkle dots. We can do something really fun with this. So what we can do is we can make them look like seeds on our dirt mounds. So I'm going to take, and I think I use the wild wheat. This time I'm just going to add, what is this? It's that clay one. I cannot think of it off the top of my head. I know y'all know what it is. But anyway, they're little brown dots, right? So we're just going to sprinkle these on here across so that it looks like little seeds that have been planted right here on our garden. All right. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a basic beige ribbon bow. And remember that seam right there? I want to cover it. So I'm just going to add that on with a mini glue dot. And so we can hide that seam. Nobody's going to know it's there. And we're going to finish the front of the card. Now, remember, I told you there was a piece of this check paper that we're going to use. All right, so we're going to flip it over because I didn't do it on this card. But when I was typing the tutorial, I was like, I really should have done something on the back. So we're going to do it during this live today. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of basic white cardstock. This measures 3 1/2 by 5 1/4. We're going to take another piece of the Timeless Plaid Designer Series paper, also measures 1 by 5 1/4, just like the front. And we're going to glue it down here at the bottom. And then what I did is I manually cut out A clump, I think that's tomatoes. I'm going to say they're tomatoes. They're kind of strawberry looking, but I think they're tomatoes. And I'm just going to glue them right here in the corner just to add a cute little accent on the back. Plus, two, it gives me a spot to be able to write a message to my recipient when I go to send the card. All right, so then what we're going to do is we're going to glue that right there on the back. I think that is so cute. Okay. There we go, guys. What do you think? Do you like the little accent there on the back? I think that is so cute. Just kind of completes the whole look, right? So let me kind of show you a little closer up, both sides. So that's the front. And again, if you remember, you can stick a cute little treat inside. And there you go. That is the project for today. Good. I'm glad y'all liked it. Okay. So I have something else for you. In tomorrow's email, remember I told you you're going to get the project sheet for this pop-up card. I'm going to send you a bonus project sheet. So be sure when you open your email tomorrow at 3 o'clock Central Time, you also make sure you click on the link for the bonus project sheet. So I'm going to show you what it looks like so you can see what the completed card looks like using the Storybook Garden Patch bundle, okay? And this also too, it uses the arches dies, but if you want, you can use a rectangle. It doesn't really matter. And I used, what is that, that embossing folder? I used the Forever Plaid embossing folder, but you can substitute out with something totally different if you want. Have fun making this card, so you will get the bonus project sheet in tomorrow's email. All right? All right, guys, so that is it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm just going to check real quick, see if I missed anything. I don't think I did. I think all right, guys. Okay, y'all stay warm. I think across the United States, we're just in a freeze zone right now. And y'all have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you next Friday. Oh, don't forget, Tuesday, February 25th, 2 o'clock Central Time is the Darling Dinos Craft Along. All right, I hope to see you there. Bye, guys.